Great to see you both. As any parent, I really empathized with this film. In her own darkly humorous way, is this Diablo Cody's ode to motherhood?
I think what Diablo is exploring through Juno Young Adult and Tully is the idea of growing up and these benchmark moments when we realize, oh yeah, another chapter just passed and I've gotten a little bit older.
It seems like there's a bit of a Diablo Cody troupe going on, you know, reuniting the three of you. Why does that fit work between the three of you?
Good question.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if I have an answer to that, and I don't know if I want to know. I just like that. I don't want to jinx it. It's so good, I don't want to mess with it. Because it's interesting, we're all similar age, but we are different. Like all three are very different people. And yet somehow when we come together, it just works. It's not like the three of us are like exactly the same person. That's what I find interesting, because I think you tend to think people who are more like you are the ones that you would have great chemistry with, but it's definitely not the case with us.
But maybe we're similar storytellers. I think we have different childhoods, but what attracts us and what makes us in love with movies is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, you clearly have the same dark sense of humor.
That's it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And
it's a dark, deep well.
Which is so fun to explore.
Yeah.
I loved the ambiguity about Tully, whether she was a delusion born out of sleep deprivation or actual.
Sorry, are you asking us to ruin the movie? Was that the question?
I used ambiguous purposely.
Yeah.
it's just not ambiguous enough.
Yeah. It's a sled. Tell your audiences.
Yeah.
It's a sled.
She's real. Did I say that convincingly?
Yeah, I like that.
She's real.
But obviously you did mind that the possibility that she could be a dream or actual.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna go with Jason. It's so much, we put so much love into the story and every aspect of it that talking about that just really kind of destroys the magic of it. So, yeah, I think, yeah. Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
All right.
Charlize, you've always been brave and fierce, and you clearly committed to this character. Putting on all the weight without the baby to show for it.
I got this baby to show for it.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with this little baby. Yeah, I mean, every time I get to work with Jason, I am never disappointed. I always feel like he never tells me something up front that he doesn't deliver on at the end, and every single time I've been so, it is like, you know, I do put a lot of work and effort into it, and to have a filmmaker bring that to life and to not disappoint, yeah, I'm super proud of this. And in many ways, making a film is a version of your child. It really is.
You did it for Monster as well. How are you able to shake your vanity in projects like this?
I don't think you can be vain when you step on a set.
Oh, well said.
I don't know. I wouldn't know how an actor really goes about it if they brought their own vanity to it. That's not saying that I don't have vanity, but for some reason, once I'm on a set, it becomes so purposefully for that project, for that character, that none of it ever, I never confuse that for who I am or what and I don't even really, I would like definitely talk about my body changing as I was gaining the weight, but it was only, it would always be when I wrap the film and I go home and I'm like in my own house trying to put my own jeans on that I kind of go like, oh, this is what I now, but I never struggle with it when I'm working.
Amazing. Which aspects of new motherhood spoke to you the loudest?
I feel like there was an element to all of it that I could relate to. Nothing that felt foreign to me. I think the biggest thing that kind of grabbed me was this theme that I think many I want to say all moms, and all parents, but maybe I shouldn't throw such a general blanket, but I definitely like the idea of exploring the loss of yourself, like the questioning of like who you are becoming and what you have lost since becoming a parent, and maybe wanting that back and what that is. And it really becomes like an internal, you have to like look at yourself internally and you question that. And that was, I think, the biggest thing that jumped out for me.
Right. Jason, as a father yourself and a man, what was it like for you to explore both Diablo and Charlize's contribution and angle into this story?
I mean, look, in many ways on a story like this, I am kind of the connective tissue between all of them, and they're the ones informing me. I'm very lucky in that I'm surrounded by very smart, funny women between Diablo, Charlize, and our producer,
welcome.
Helen Estabrook. I am surrounded by women who are very willing to tell me when I am wrong.
How often is that?
Often enough.
Do you find the I guess the friction, for lack of a better term, creative? Do you find it produces better results sometimes?
We're all after the same thing. And that's the most important thing. You know, there's an old expression, make sure you're all making the same movie. But we desperately want the movie to feel real and honest. And when we push each other, it's not about friction. There's a mutual desire for the film to be great, because we're all in love with it, and we're all in love with filmmaking. But also a kind of filmmaking that gets at a certain truth, that gets under the ribs of the audience. And I think that excites all of us. And I know when Charlize comes to me about something, why she's coming to me with it and what she's after. And then that only excites me and pushes me and influences me to do as good a job as possible and to try to get at that same kind of thing. And it lets me know when I'm not bringing my best that I can do better.
Charlize, I imagine you get along quite well with Diablo, but what is it like for you to, again, for lack of a better term, be her mouthpiece, be the organ for her kind of writing and attitude?
Oh, it makes me anxious when you say it like that. Because that's a lot. And I do definitely. I always feel like there are moments where her writing is so good that I have in the past. Maybe not on this, but I remember on Young Adult saying to Jason, like, this is so good, I don't know how to do it. Like, I don't think I can do this. I think whenever you have good writing, you appreciate it tremendously. And I do think, like Jason said, we're all after the same thing. And so that kind of team spirit behind it always never makes me feel like I'm out there on my own. Because we all really do have each other's backs. And yeah, of course I don't want to disappoint her. Yeah, I mean, she is always the first person outside of Jason that I'm like, I value her opinion. I want her to be happy. And I'm always that annoying actor who's like, did she really like it? Is she okay? Because I want that for her, because she, obviously bled her heart for this, and this is such a personal story for her.